That will be the start of the episode. Welcome to the Alien Invasion number 226, recorded on Thursday, August 10th, 2017. I'm Dave Nelson, along with Mr. Brad Ludwig. Hello, Brad.
Hello, Dave.
Coming up, little boy wants to fight aliens and the search for extraterrestrial lasers. Before all that, though, our question. I love saying lasers. All right. Question time. Question time. All right. If an extraterrestrial race really is picking up radio signals from Earth, what do you think is their favorite TV show and song? Brad, you can go first.
I am going to go with Perfect Strangers as the TV show.
You have to give the reason why.
The reason why is it's so ridiculous.
And it's a good example of human behavior, right?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's good, but it kind of it highlights something that I think we've lost, which is people of very different backgrounds get along really well here on Earth. It hasn't been that way lately, but you know, by God, this TV show would make you believe it.
All right. Of course, that there's a couple of who starred in that in Perfect Strangers.
Bronson Pinchot.
Okay, he's the one that went on to be kind of sort of somewhat famous.
Yeah, and Mark, I can't remember his last name.
But I applaud you for knowing Mark. His first name is fine, because I just think of him as the other guy.
Mark Lynn Baker. That's
okay.
Yep.
What else did who's the first person you said? Oh,
Bronson Pinchot.
What else did he do? Did he do other stuff?
He was in he made brief appearances in Risky Business, Beverly Hills Cop, True Romance, Beverly Hills Cop 3, First Wives Club. He played the prankster in Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. He had his own reality series, which was the Bronson Pinchot Project on the DIY network.
Huh, interesting. All right. So that would be the TV show that you think aliens would be into. They'd be watching.
Yes, I would hope they would be watching.
What's the song?
You know, ELO's Mr. Blue Sky.
I love that song.
There's something about Jeff Lynne's, you know, take on prog rock. I'm pretty sure it falls in that category. It's orchestral, it's big, and that's such a happy song. You can't listen to that song and not, you know, when you hear the ding, 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 that you don't tap your fingers to that. I mean, it's such a bright and cheery song.
All right. So they're the meanest alien race out there, but they hear ELO's Mr. Blue Sky, and something about it puts a smile on their face, and they become a little less mean.
They're like, oh, you know, maybe we won't wipe them out. Okay.
All right. So my answers are, it's not really a TV show, but it was shown on TV. I'm sure it was. It's a documentary called Life in a Day. And basically it was 24 hours around the world, and it was crowdsourced. So every piece of footage in the movie was filmed by the people that were in it, basically. They asked for submissions, and they took all the footage, put it together. I believe it was a little alien connection. I believe it was produced by Scott Free Productions, which is Ridley Scott's company.
Nice.
And it's just a good example. It shows humans in all their forms, in all their beliefs, all their shapes, sizes, sexes, what have you. It's just a good, if you were to just, want to show aliens, okay, here is what Earth is like. This is what Earthlings, human beings are like. That would be the perfect thing to show them as an example. This is us.
Nice.
Take it or leave it. This is just how we are right here. I cheated a little bit. That's not really a TV show, but I should have said TV show movie. Would there be a movie that you want them to like, or you think that aliens would like? I know I'm changing things kind of.
Regular series show that they might like. That I got nothing.
Okay, that's fine. I gave you time to prepare for the one answer. Throwing a wrench in it, so I didn't expect you to have an answer. That's okay.
Yeah, regular series.
Oh no, movie. Like a movie.
Oh. What movie would they like?
Yes.
Hopefully Forrest Gump.
Yes, perfect. That's another example of humanity in all its forms. Man.
Somebody kind of being given the not the best circumstances in the world, but somehow, some way, through their positivity and dedication and their particular skills, they persevere and become successful. And there are bumps along the way, but all in all, he does all right.
Yeah. I mean, it shows all the different sides of humanity, but at the end, something shines through. There's a word I'm looking for. There's negatives, but then never mind. All right, so my song it wasn't really a song on an album. It wasn't really something that you heard on the radio, or did you? It is, I'd like to buy the world a Coke. That the jingle, the Coca-Cola jingle from the 1970s.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because not just the song, but the commercial that went with the song, again, showed humanity coming together over a delicious Coca-Cola.
I sense a theme.
Well, I mean, we have to prove to the aliens that I sort of didn't really, well, I should have reworded the question, because what thing do we think that they should watch that would be a good example of humanity? That's how we should have asked it, but oh well. All right, that's good enough. I got some editing to do on that.
That's all right.
Let's do some news.
Let's.
Totally stolen from the Major Spoilers podcast. All right, I'm going to go first, if you don't mind. Little boy pens brilliant letter to NASA applying for job fighting aliens. I saw a story about this a couple weeks ago. I think since the last time we recorded this podcast, where they were looking for a planetary protection officer. And it sounded a lot cooler than it actually is. I mean, it's a cool job, but the way the title makes it sound like you're part of this, like expeditionary force that's, standing by at all hours for the aliens to come and protect the Earth, right? That's what it sounds like. But it's something else. It's basically, and this is not part of the story I actually found about this, but as I recall, it's a person that will be in charge of making sure that we don't bring our filthy human germs to an extraterrestrial planet.
There
So
you go.
we send probes to Mars. Those probes have to be sanitized. They have to go through this whole process so germs and other particulates from this planet don't get on Mars, because you don't want to spoil the ecosystem if there is one on Mars. So
Or
that's
accidentally seed some form of life if there
yeah,
is none there.
yeah, exactly. So that's what the planetary protection officer would do. But this 9-year-old had a different idea. The fourth grader from New Jersey said he was suitable as my sister says, I am an alien. He added, I am so young, so I can learn to think like an alien. Here's the full letter. Dear NASA, my name is Jack Davis, and I would like to apply for the Planetary Protection Officer job. I may be 9, but I think I'd be a fit for the job. One of the reasons is my sister says I am an alien. Also, I have seen almost all the space alien movies I can see. I have also seen the show Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and hope to see the movie Men in Black. I am young, so can learn to think like an alien. He signed off the letter with Jack Davis, Guardian of the Galaxy. I like this kid. NASA's Planetary Science Director Jim Green replied, at NASA, we'd love to teach kids about space and inspire them to be the next generation of explorers. Think of it as a gravity assist, a boost that may positively and forever change a person's course in life and our footprint in the universe. It's neat. It's a neat response. It's neat that he responded to this 9-year-old. But I think I would have written it just a little bit more kid-friendly. Don't you think?
I could see that.
But I guess what a 9-year-old could probably comprehend, could understand that response, right? It's not too adult for a 9-year-old.
No, I think that's good.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of what else he could say, because he didn't say yes, you can have the job, or yes, you can apply for the job, or no, you don't have the qualifications. The answer was kind of like nothing, kind of a non-answer, right? Sorry, I'm sorry. You probably don't have an answer. I didn't.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with something. The only thing that I can think of is we're only seeing a little. I mean, that's not the entirety of the whole letter. It was like 2 sentences, was it?
No, I read the whole letter. Oh, you mean his response?
The response from NASA.
No, I think that's all the article had of the response. So maybe there was more to it, but that's all I'm seeing in the article where I got this from is what I said.
Oh, wait. Hang on.
Did you find more?
Okay. Yes, I found the actual full letter.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I hear you are a guardian of the galaxy and that you're interested in being a NASA planetary protection officer. That's great. Our planetary protection officer position is really cool and is very important work. It's about protecting Earth from tiny microbes when we bring back samples from the moon, asteroids, and Mars. It's also about protecting other planets and moons from our germs as we responsibly explore the solar system. We are always looking for bright future scientists and engineers to help us, so I hope you will study hard and do well in school. We hope to see you here at NASA one of these days.
Oh, so the part that I read wasn't even part of that letter.
Unless somebody else sent something else.
Interesting. Okay. I like your response better. It's more comprehensive, that's for sure, and it's more kid friendly as well.
Yeah, I think so, and I'm kind of wondering if somebody else gave like their own summary, but they were very sciencey.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like, oh, we thought our approach would give them a gravity assist, and not actually giving you the contents of what was actually said.
Okay. So this is neat. This is really cool. I'm glad that NASA is inspiring kids still, because I know the sciences in school aren't as emphasized as they used to be, and it's neat that there's outside sources that are being inspired or being what's the word, is inspiring kids like a 9-year-old to think of a job like that, even though he may think it's something different. He may think it's like being a guardian of the galaxy or a Men in Black. But who knows? I mean, this may inspire him to get into whatever degrees you'd have to have this job, right?
No, exactly, and I think that's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you said, we're having a hard time with we seem to be having a hard time with sciences and getting kids, especially girls,
Yeah.
to get into science and math. And I'm really kind of thinking that we're seeing a bit of a beat up in the media over smart people.
Yeah.
So, which, has its own, has the potential to cause other issues down the road if something is not deemed cool. I mean, we have everything kind of runs in cycles, right? Like right now, we've been told that there's going to be a nurse and doctor crisis in the coming years. There's just not enough projected to be able to handle the number of baby boomers in the United States who are aging out, as it were, and will need those services or more of them. Teaching doesn't. We're having issues with having enough teachers, and we have to find ways to make them seem cool and reach out to the younger generation to try to fix that. And it's a long-term game. So any seeds that you can plant to help with any possible gaps in the future, making sure that we have enough people to cover certain things is important. So I think their answer was the way to go. It was encouraging, and I think it was just the right message to send.
And maybe that's something they can do in the future more of, make science seem cool. Like you could incorporate like the Guardians of the Galaxy or some other fictional franchise, some other fictional property, like incorporate that into like promoting science, promoting math, to make it exciting for these kids that they'll want to get into these types of field in the future.
No, exactly.
All right, I think that's it for now. All right. All right.
Trying so hard not to be political.
Yeah, no, it's hard. It's really, really hard. That one guy must just be pissed off.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. All right, let's rippity rap.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Brad. It's been a couple of weeks since we were together here on the alien invasion. What's been going on in your neck of the woods?
Wedding planning.
Yay! How many wedding halls have you been, or how many banquet halls have you been to?
4.
Okay. And they all have something green, I see, because Ines has been posting on Facebook.
Actually, just the one was had very green carpeting and antlers.
Oh,
antler chandeliers.
because that's what you want. You want some green and you want some antler chandelier.
If we were outdoorsy people, that might be a way to go. And don't get me wrong, I've been to that facility before, and their food is great, and the room is great. It's just we're going for a Doctor Who theme, and that runs counter to I think how we want to present it.
Yeah. I didn't. Oh, wait
So
a second. I didn't know that you guys were doing a Doctor Who theme.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
Okay.
And so yeah, we kind of had to take a pass on that. Um, we've finally settled on a venue, and because I was raised Lutheran and she was raised Baptist, we're going to go to a Unitarian church for our wedding.
Good compromise, sir.
Um, so yeah, that's where that's at. So we've got the plans in place. We are going to next Friday. We're going to go to the church, take a look around, put down our deposits, sign some papers, and then we will go to the venue for the reception and sign some papers and put money down. And then those two larger chunks are done.
Mhm.
And we're getting married June 30th.
So, yeah, that's
We got some time.
good to have those two things out of the way. That's
Yeah,
less to worry about.
absolutely.
Is this reception hall bigger on the inside?
Sadly, no. But going along with the theme, the carpeting is blue-ish. It's like blue and white, and it's got bits of black in it, and that's kind of our color scheme. So I mean, it fits really well with what we're looking to do. So
So, what are you going to do to make it more of a Doctor Who theme?
well, that's funny you should mention that.
Okay.
We're looking at doing having about 100, inviting 100 people.
Mhm.
That's kind of our number. And it fits. I would love to have more, but it kind of fits our budget. And that kind of works out to having, including the wedding party table, about 13 tables.
Oh,
So
I see what you're doing there. Yeah. So each table
so
is a different doctor.
correct. And our preliminary plan at this point is our centerpieces are going to be TARDISes, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And what we'd like to do, and we're kind of figuring out the logistics, is we figure there's like 6 to 8 people at a table. About 8 people at a table. And what we would do is have, for each place setting, there would be like the Tom Baker table, and at every place setting would be like a bag of Jelly Babies.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Yes.
And
So
at the Colin Baker table, there would be like a little cat pendant for everybody.
sweet. That's awesome.
So trying to find like one of the big things at that particular doctor, an affectation or a moment where they had a thing that was very important to what was going on, and that's affordable. It's the other thing.
Need to get
And
some cheap Ray-Bans for number 12.
yeah, we're still like figuring out what each item would be, you know. And we've got some good loose starting ideas. But yeah, we're still working on it, but that's the tentative plan.
All right. Thanks for the update.
Yes, sir.
More next time.
Absolutely.
All right.
Next time on Wedding Talk.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to your story. All right. What do you got this week, Brad?
Oh, let me tell you.
Well, tell me.
I will. See, SETI has been around for a very long time, and SETI had a sort of a shareware thing where if you had a home computer and you had it connected to the internet most of the time, you could have a program running in the background where they would kind of use up some of your CPU to crunch data. It was really kind of a cool project, and I think that they ended that. But SETI is looking for our help again. SETI wants you to detect alien laser signals.
Alien lasers.
Yeah, alien lasers. This comes to us from sci-fi.com, the sci-fi wire. SETI doesn't just believe in aliens. They believe aliens are broadcasting via radio signals and lasers everywhere, and that you could possibly find them. The SETI Institute's newest crowdfunding campaign knows they're out there, and that so many must be out there that if everyone has ETs on their radar 24/7, they could finally find something that isn't a false alarm from a telemetry signal that ran into their radio telescope at 3 in the morning. There's a story called Laser SETI, first ever all sky, all the time search. And the project is getting a boost from an Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign that is blasting off towards $100,000 US. The thing you see on Indiegogo the things you see on Indiegogo never cease to amaze. While Laser SETI will still need high-res cameras and optics designed for astronomy, if this thing is going to take off, it's still exponentially more cost-effective than sending satellites to every known corner of the universe. We are just microbes in a universe so vast that just about anything could be hiding in places so far away that they haven't even been reached by satellites or seen by even the most powerful telescopic eyes from Earth or space. It's also hard to believe that there isn't anything else crawling around when our universe is 14 billion years old, which is more than enough time for just about anything, intelligent or otherwise, to evolve. SETI assumes that aliens are always on air, whether they are trying to reach us with superpowered lasers, monster radio transmitters, or anything else our Earthling brains might have not even dreamed up yet. Whew, that's a tough sentence. To be seen. There have been previous doubts about extraterrestrial beings anywhere from hundreds to billions of light years away, trying to target a planet they don't even know exists. The idea may strike you as kind of a reverse X-Files. Laser SETI is the first endeavor to defy this thinking because it's designed to find a very short ping that doesn't stay on all the time. It can detect a laser flash as short as a microsecond, and one that might not repeat for days, weeks, or even longer.
I'll break this down for us, Brad, in language we can really understand.
They are, well, that's interesting because I'm going to jump to their Indiegogo campaign real quick because they're looking for optics. Right now, as of this moment in time, there are 8 days left. They're at $61,062. Now they are, so they're looking to put like clusters of 4 detectors. So they kind of cover a 360-degree range around it. Mm-hmm. And they're going to place these instruments all over the globe. Oh. So basically they would be collecting from all over the planet.
Okay.
And they're trying to find either radio waves or laser beams that either come close to the Earth or hit the Earth. And the technology has progressed to the point now where we can get very inexpensive small equipment, small, you know what I'm saying. The longer you have a technology, the more you're able to miniaturize it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. UNIVAC was huge, and our calculators are far more intelligent, as it were, than they were. So over time, we've managed to, miniaturize that and make it more powerful. So with all the advances in science, they're now able to put these detection units all over the place and try to gather that data. So, and it looks like, oh man, let me see if I can do a screen share here real quick for our YouTube viewers.
YouTube.com/Galactic Netcasts, I think is the URL.
It is now. So let me pull up. Here it is.
Oh, man. That looks pretty small.
Yeah, and actually looking at this, it looks like this outer box is 3D printed.
Mm-hmm.
So they've managed to come up with a design that is easy to print out and make, and pump out a bunch of these as quickly as possible and get these packs out there. So let's see, at $100,000, let's see.
Two cameras?
Yeah. So they're looking to try to get more of these things, but gosh, with 8 days, I think they'll hit 100,000, but
yeah. Well,
but some is better than none. And, who knows, maybe somebody like an Elon Musk or somebody who is wealthy might step in and try to help this along too, if they believe in it.
Enough of people like us.
Yeah.
Word out.
Absolutely.
Go to Indiegogo after you go to our Patreon page.
But the way these are being set up is the cameras would have a large field of view. And let's see.
Those things look small, but they're really expensive, it turns out.
Yeah. Well, the equipment, unfortunately, we don't have, they don't have a quarter sitting next to it, so we can determine the actual size. Mm-hmm. But each of these units they have a wide, so the aperture is probably not the right, but I mean, it can take in
taking lots of stuff.
Yeah, it's got a good view of the sky and the surrounding area, so it could definitely make an impact, and that's what SETI's trying to do.
So they'll make the data available online, and they'll be using people from around the world to analyze it, or computers around the world to analyze it, right? Is that how it's going to work?
I don't know about the processing, because it says here that all right, here we go. You're looking for monochromatic flashes anywhere in the sky. First, you need to see the whole sky by tilting it, and then they have tilting in quotes. That must be an astronomical term. Mm-hmm. With cameras, the cameras should have a large field of view. That's what I was trying to say. So fewer are needed. I'm sorry, the cameras should have a large field of view. As well as to lower computational and maintenance costs. To detect a dim, short flash, you need to read the camera out very quickly. We use a specialized technique to read out our camera more than 1,000 times per second. Wow. This technique gains time resolution by losing information vertically, but that's okay, because we get it back with another camera looking at the same patch of sky, which was needed to maximize sensitivity anyways. Finally, to distinguish a single color of light from other types of sources, a specialized transmission grating is used to spread out each point source into two spectra. The technical term for this is siltless spectroscopy. Whew.
Wow.
You can't see the whole sky from one part of the globe, and they have a map with the ideal locations for these observatories that they're looking to fund. Only 6 are required to see the whole sky.
Oh, so they have to set up facilities around the world with these devices as
They
well.
don't necessarily need facilities. I think if they have some kind of Wi-Fi or satellite connection to pull that data,
Okay.
these look like, do you know, they kind of remind me of like little weather stations.
Yeah.
You can put them in your backyard or whatever, use a Raspberry Pi, but you can gather a lot of data. And if you have like a Wi-Fi shield attached to your Raspberry Pi, you can actually get it hooked into the internet and just get that information anywhere on the globe.
Okay.
So um, they have red dots placed here and they've got gray dots. They would love to add more observatories, which would give them the ability to gather even more data and cover. I mean, granted, they're covering the whole planet with those 6, but if they have redundant observatories, if maybe something were to go wrong, or if they want to double check their data, maybe they find something or they think they've found something, if they can check it from another location and try to check it and confirm it, that would be great. So
I'm guessing that after they get the initial unit set up, they could do further crowdfunding and maybe after a while add on. Right. So, I mean, it's not a static thing. I'm sure it's kind of flexible, right?
yeah, I think that if you can have like a proof of concept as it were and actually have it up and running, it's an easier sell because it's now proven technology.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe they can go back and run it again and get more units out there. So
All right. Interesting stuff. Interesting, exciting times we live in, Brad.
absolutely,
Alien lasers.
alien lasers. Oh yeah,
Pew, 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 pew.
pew pew pew.
All right. That's a great place to end right there.
Pew pew pew.
All right. Let's do a little sighting action. A little exciting action here. Okay. This is the segment of the podcast where we talk about a sighting. It's called sightings. Somebody saw something, could be an alien craft, a UFO, a flying saucer, or it could be a plane mistaken for a UFO, flying saucer.
It happens.
Yeah, reflection, Venus, all kinds of other things could be mistaken. But this is a pretty good one. This happened on June 27th of this year in British Columbia, Canada. Ian Purcell saw an object in the sky near his home in Shawnigan Lake, British Columbia, grabbed his video camera and began recording what appeared to be some sort of silver flying machine that was coming from the east before it arced around and started heading back in the direction from where he came. Or as this article wrote it, from whence it came. Oh, this came from. Oh, this is Canadian. Okay. Well, there's a lot of Britishisms in Canada. Purcell said he grabbed his video camera. I already said that part. Purcell filmed the object's progress across the sky for almost 10 minutes and then posted the thing on YouTube. And we'll have the link in the show notes. You can watch it for yourself. It's very convincing, looks very realistic, like it could actually be an alien craft. I mean, it's from very far away, but it's in the middle of the day and you can actually see structure. It's not just the light, which is way better than, because I'm sick of seeing just lights in the sky, right? It's
Yep.
good once in a while to see what could be an actual object. He said it's a very clear view of some sort of very odd ship with many engines clearly visible. It was definitely not from this Earth. Purcell says he lives about 45 kilometers from Victoria Airport and has watched thousands of planes at various distances over the years. He said that whatever the object was, it would have been at least the size of a large jet airliner based on reference points and distance, and had at least 6 engines that he could see. I could see different lights that looked like jets appearing and disappearing, and at the nose, too. Purcell said, "This is some of the best footage I have ever seen on a clearly visible UFO. I'm definitely going to see, or I'm definitely going to keep my I'm definitely going to keep my video camera nearby and fully charged from now on." He goes on to say, oh no, wait a second. John Willis, an associate professor from the Department of Physics and Astronomy at the University of Victoria, said that after viewing a segment of the video, he believes the object is most likely man-made. Oh. However, as an astronomer, my main expertise in these cases is being able to confirm that what is being observed is not a common celestial misidentification, like the moon, Venus, or a solar effect, such as a parhelion, a sundog. I didn't know that that had an official name. I thought it was just a sundog. It's called a parhelion. Interesting. Beyond that, I would caution that my expertise is very limited, no better than any other member of the public. Okay, well, I'm glad that he admits that. Commenters on the YouTube video have suggested several explanations, including that it could be a large silver inflatable balloon that got loose. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is check out the video in the show notes and tell us what you think. Is it a balloon that got loose, or is it an alien craft? Do you want to take a look at it real quick, Brad, and tell me what you think it is?
Absolutely.
Call it up on your computer.
I am. Oh, weird.
I just made a link out of it, if that helps. I want to thank our viewers this evening watching us tonight.
Yeah, I wish
we don't have the chat on.
Yeah.
Talk to you. Are you watching it?
It looks like a partially inflated balloon. I wish. I hate. I know he's doing it by hand, and God bless him. Zooming in incredibly, but it's one tiny move, and it just.
Yep.
It's all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be helpful if you had a tripod, but most people don't carry around a tripod with them.
Well, yeah, and that's why I'm like, God bless him. He took a shot. It looks like it looks like if you were to take a like an inflatable, like a pool, what are they called? Like the mats, you just kind of the inflatable pool. What the frick are they called?
I'm drawing a blank myself. I don't know. People are yelling at their speakers right now. Yelling at their
probably floating pool mats. There we go.
I don't even know if I know what that is.
Well, give me a second here. And
I love when we go off.
There you go. So it almost looks like, if you're a YouTube viewer, you're seeing this right now. Like an air bed, an air mattress.
Okay, all right.
That you would lay on in a pool. Okay. But it looks like it's been maybe filled with helium, and it's half inflated. And it looks like a very reflective, like a Mylar balloon type material.
Okay.
So who knows? It could be a mostly deflated weather balloon. It's hard to say. But it doesn't look like a spherical craft. I mean, this thing slowly kind of turns, and it looks like it's kind of boxy, actually, which is why I'm kind of going with this inflatable pool air mattress.
Brad, it's a boxy UFO. It's a boxy alien craft with multiple engines on it.
Yeah, and that could be it too. It's hard to say. But yeah, it's very unusual, and yeah, you should check the show notes and click the link to take a look for yourself, and you make the call. You decide what you think it is.
Let us know what you think.
Aliens at gncasts.com.
I stopped the recording. Sorry.
Oh, shoot.
All right. It's time for the partner read. If you enjoy the alien invasion, and we hope you do, and would like to give and would like to do more than just subscribe, please consider becoming a partner with us. Go to gncasts.com/support and click on the Patreon link. We have different levels, most with a reward. All but one have all but one doesn't have a reward. The rewards include getting your name mentioned on the show, getting a bonus podcast, or even having a whole message read by you. Or no, wait a second. Even having a whole message read by one of us. Like, say, for example, you also have a podcast or you have an online business of some kind and you'd like to, it's basically a commercial. And you can do that by going to gncasts.com/support and clicking that Patreon link, becoming a partner with us. Again, yeah, that's what I said. And we thank you in advance for doing that. I just totally screwed that up. Okay.
That's all right.
I'm going to do, I'm going to do that one more time.
Fix it in post. Oh, yes.
I'm going to do it one more time. I'm not happy with that. Not happy with it. All right. If you enjoy the alien invasion, and we hope you do, and would like to do more than just subscribe and listen, please consider becoming a partner with us. Go to gncasts.com/support and click on that Patreon link. We have different levels, most with a reward. I think all of them except for the most basic $1 level all have rewards of some kind, like getting your name mentioned on the show, getting bonus podcasts, or even having a whole message read by one of us. Basically, it's the sponsor level. Say maybe you have an Etsy shop. You make like little UFO pendants and you want to get a few extra orders this month. You can subscribe to us or become a partner with us at that level, and we will treat it like a commercial. So again, go to gncasts.com/support and get your message heard to our thousands of subscribers. Or just do the $1 level and think of it as becoming you are becoming partner with us, supporting the alien invasion, and we thank you for that. All right, that's a lot better. All right, now it's time for our picks and warnings.
What?
Picks and warnings. Picks and warning. I don't have any more words to this song. It's picks and these are things that we have watched, read, listened to, played, all somehow related to aliens and extraterrestrials. So, Brad, what do you got as your pick and or warning this week?
What? All right. So Anessa and I have been watching the the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And the show is it stars and is co-created by oh my god, Rachel Bloom. There we go. Whew, thank goodness. And she's the star of the show. So she's the crazy ex-girlfriend. Now, the interesting thing about this show is it's guaranteed that there's going to be 2 to 3 musical numbers per episode. And it's, I'll give you a quick rundown. So the main character, she's incredibly intelligent. She is an accomplished lawyer in New York, but she finds that she's unfulfilled. This is a life that her mom wanted her to have, and her name, Rebecca. Rebecca's just unhappy. And as she's about to become like a full partner in this law firm, she has a panic attack. And she leaves the office and she's like, I'm going to go get some coffee. And she leaves the office, and a couple of weird things happen, and she believes she's been given a sign. And she sees this guy that she met in musical theater camp, and they dated. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. And then after camp was done, he broke up with her, and she was madly in love with this guy. And so he says that he's leaving New York and that he's going to go back to his hometown of West Covina, California. And he's just going to go back there and live life because New York was not for him. And she becomes incredibly impulsive. She quits the law firm and she moves to West Covina, California. And wackiness ensues.
That's a devotion right there.
It is.
Or craziness.
Well, she has a lot of issues she needs to work through, and thankfully she's a redeemable character. Thankfully, she's not a total creepy stalker person. She rides the line, and I think that's kind of the brilliance in the writing. Anyway, how does this relate to aliens? Good question. Episode 15 of season 1, she is kind of working through her issues in her life, and she realizes that she's made all these choices. She's told a lot of half-truths and outright lies to cover the fact that she impulsively just ran out there to get back together with this guy who has a committed girlfriend. And she realizes that she's got a lot of problems, and she's kind of been seeing a shrink, but she's kind of been avoiding her too. She's not been going regularly, and she decides to fly somewhere. I'm not going to give that part up, but she ends up somehow, some way, sitting next to her therapist on the plane. And pretty much the entirety of the episode, she has a discussion with this sort of psychiatrist. And if you were to watch it, you'll explain what I mean by sort of. And in the conversation, they mention, that her therapy right now is actually with a dream version of the psychiatrist. So it's kind of like her an inner voice that knows the things that she's doing wrong and why, and she needs to work it out. But she says, oh, so if you're if this is a dream thing, then we could catch a show on an alien planet where, the closest alien planet with life. And she's like, oh, that's just weird. No, we don't have time for that. Now, and they walk away from it. But the nice thing about the show is they have like a post-credits scene, and it's very short, and it relates to something in the show. Okay. And by golly, if they didn't at some point nip off to a planet with intelligent life and catch a play, and you only get to see it's like a 5 second, 10-second snippet of them catching the end of this play and giving standing ovation afterwards. And there's just all of these actors in different like alien costumes around them. It's just such a weird throwaway scene, but it's really funny. So yes, the show itself isn't about aliens, but this one scene and how it's all kind of worked in was very funny. And for those of you who are on the YouTubes, when I say that they were surrounded, is the way they kind of framed the shot. But the main character, Rebecca, is the one in the brown blazer. Her dream doctor is sitting next to her, and then you see all these aliens sitting around them. These are they must be taking a break in the scene between shots. But yeah.
All right.
It's just it's ridiculous, but it's kind of a touching scene between the two main characters. So
all right. So what's your rating?
For this particular episode of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend called Josh Has No Idea Where I Am, I will give it 4.5 stars.
Wow. You mean flying saucers?
Flying saucers, sorry. Yeah, I wrecked it.
All right. High rating for that. Cool. That's one of the highest ratings that we've had for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Until my pick. My pick is Arrival. I'm sure that you have seen the trailers for it. It's about a year and a half old. It came out in 2016, I believe, starring Amy Adams and Hawkeye. Damn, I can never. Oh, Jeremy
Renner.
Okay, yeah. And I'm not going to go into too many details, just besides the fact that Jeremy Renner is some kind of fancy pants, smarty pants scientist, and so is Amy Adams. And they get.
Does she have pants that are intelligent too?
Yes, smarty pants, fancy pants. Both of them have smarty pants.
Nice.
Yes. Anyways, they get called in because these aliens have arrived. Thus the title. And Amy Adams is a linguist. So she's called in to interpret the language, which is hard when you don't have a point of reference. And she has to explain that to the military, to the government, that I can't just listen to it and figure out what the words are. And they can't do that either. So we have to start from scratch. We have to show the aliens human. We're humans. That's the name. This is the word, human. But then how does the alien know the difference between that and that person is human? That's his name, human. So they have to figure out how all that works, right? And then partway through the film, and they're actually making progress, they're able to communicate a little bit. Partway towards the 3/4 of the way through, there's an issue with one of the craft, or what was it? The other, like the Russian, because there's crafts in all different parts of the world, and they have scientists at all these locations trying to decipher their language. Each country is working by themselves, but they're also working in unison, and they video conference, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. So I think it's the Russians and the Chinese. They break off communications because I think a word that one of the aliens said is interpreted as like a weapon or what was something, battle or attack or something like that. So they get in a defensive posture, right? And Amy Adams has to kind of scramble at the end and figure out to try to tell these people that that's not what it means. You're misinterpreting it. It's all about how language works.
Sure.
And at the same time, Amy Adams is developing her learning their language has given her an ability of some kind. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 flying saucers. It is
what?
one of the best movies I've ever seen. Like, Steph and I, our minds were blown at the end. It was almost like an M. Night Shyamalan movie where you're like, holy crap.
What?
Did that just happen? Yes, that just happened. It's really, really cool. I highly recommend it. I've got the Amazon link. You can get it through our link. A little bit comes back to us through the affiliate program, but you can watch it also on Netflix. It's available there. So again, that's Arrival. Watch it this weekend if you haven't seen it yet, because it's awesome. Only took us a year and a half to watch it. We're a little bit behind that. I haven't seen a single movie this summer. Like, I haven't seen. Oh, I take that back. I saw The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature, last weekend because I was hosting the screening through the radio station. So I was like the talent saying, hey, welcome. Thanks for coming, guys. Because we gave away tickets on the air.
Sure.
I had to say, well, it's coming. The movie's coming out. I think it's this weekend. Please make sure that you tell your friends, your family, how much you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming. And then we watch the movie. But that's the only movie I've watched this year. Been a little bit busy, and we haven't had exactly the budget for it. So, again, man, that was quite the tangent I just went on. Anyways, Arrival, to sum up our picks this week, Arrival and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. The episode Josh has no idea where I am, and we'll put the links in the show notes, and you can check them out for yourselves. All right. That's going to do it. That's going to do it. All right. Let's wrap her up. So that is going to do it for this edition of the Alien Invasion, a Galactic Network podcast. If you'd like to read more about the stories that we covered on this episode, click the links in the show notes. We'd like to thank Monkey Warhol for providing our intro music. It's a song called Alien Syndrome, and you can find it at monkeywarhol.bandcamp.com. Also to Retwad van Durenberg, a composer from Germany, for our closing song called Be Water. Learn more about him and his music at thecaravel.net, THECARVEL.net. And finally, thanks to Ben Olson.
Hi, Ben.
For recording our disclaimer audio at the start of this episode. Go to benolson.com for more on the stuff that he does. All right. Final thoughts before we get out of here. Brad Ludwig.
Nutty by Nature. What a great...
Take a guess as to what the film's about.
I'm going to guess it's about squirrels, probably, or some kind of creature that consumes nuts.
Well, there's quite a few squirrels in it. They're not all squirrels. There's chipmunks. There's a dog. There's other, like, park animals, animals that you'd see in the park. And their quest to find a new home after their home is destroyed. It's funny. There's a character in there that goes, every time there's like some kind of emergency, he's like, we're all gonna die. It's the best. No, it's a funny movie. I'd when it comes out on home video, I would check it out. Definitely.
Nice.
Or if you have kids, take them to the theater. What the hell? All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
That was a weird ending. Oh, boy. All right. Save project has. Hey, I think we're going to do 2 episodes in a row. I think we're going to be able to do it next week.
What?
We're going to build up some momentum. Man, we got it. One of us has to do podcasts regularly because almost all the podcasts are on hiatus right now. The only other one is Else Nerds and the new one, the new Jedi Archives. Those
Sure.
and us. We're the only ones still doing because Daryl's on hiatus. Podcast of Terror is on hiatus for a couple months. So we got to keep up the fight here.
Well, I'm still doing mine. I just haven't put them into audio form. So
I understand. I understand. All right. I'm going to go upstairs and watch Big Brother. I'm going to see who's being kicked out of the house this week.
Oh, those guys.
It's a shame. It's a personal shame that I have to live with every week that I actually am a fan of Big Brother. Don't think any less of me for that.
I don't. I will not judge. I will not judge.
Hey, thanks, Groovy Growly Bear. I know you're still watching.
Groovy Growly Bear.
Groovy Bear. Let's see. I think he's got a couple of comments here on Twitter. It's okay. We are used to being all alone. Turn off the lights. I don't know what that's a reference to. Oh, being in the chat room. Okay.
Oh.
Galactic Netcast. Arrival hints to Sphere, a similar type team sent to meet the alien craft. Okay. Sphere. Is that the one in the ocean? Underneath the ocean?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It's another Michael Crichton novel.
Yeah. Arrival was directed by this guy from Montreal. I forget what else he's done. He's a really, really good villain of you, something like that. Hang on. I'm going to tell you guys in a second. Yeah, we're still on. I am. It's fun to have the stream still going afterwards. All right. Arrival. Adams, Jeremy Renner. Directed by, Denis Villeneuve. Villeneuve. See, this is why I can't speak French, because I can't even pronounce it.
It's tough. It's tough.
I know it's Denis, not Dennis. Don't pronounce that S. All right. So check it out. Arrival. It's really. Have you seen it? You haven't seen it?
No, I'm not. I think maybe Anessa's seen it, but I have not.
Okay. It's very good. It reminded me in a way of Contact, and not just because they're both movies about aliens making contact and trying to try to understand what they're trying to say to us. But there was a lot of other little things in the movie that kind of reminded me of Contact. Okay.
I can see that.
I'm going to go, Brad.
Okay.
I can't wait to tell my lovely wife about the Doctor Who theme. She's going to freak. And she's going to be looking forward to coming even more now.
Yep. You guys are most definitely
part of the 100. Part of the special 100.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a complete dick and say, "Oh, you made the cut." But you are a part of the reason why we even got together. So it's very important. We feel it's important to have you be there and share that with us. So
thanks. All right. On that note, have a fantastic week, Brad.
Yep. You too.
All right. Bye, everybody, for this watching. See you later.
Bye.